So rewinding back to 2004-ish, we're going back in time, huh? I was in junior high and high school around that time, and I used to be a sprinter. And I remember practice exercises that we used to do before we went out for either a meet or just another practice for that week. We had a surprising amount of core work. We also had, of course, our leg exercises. So we had our squats, our jumping squats, lunges, calf raises, all the fundamentals that would be required to really build strong, powerful, but most importantly, explosive legs. And in the world of sprinting, where it's all about fast twitch type 2 muscle fibers, that's what we need to really focus on. So we're gonna do just that, and what better way than to work on the top of the force velocity curve and with the Isochain. Let's get into this. To understand this better, let's go over which muscles are the most important for sprinting. So let's go right into the quadriceps because they're at the front of your thigh and that's what's propelling us forward. All muscles in our body, they work in coordinating pairs. So if one muscle group is pulling in one direction, the coordinating muscle group is pulling in the opposite direction. The quad's conjunctive muscle group is the hamstring. As the quads pull the legs forward for fast bursts of running, the hamstrings are pulling them back in place. The stronger the quads are, the faster your legs will pull your body forward and the faster we'll be able to sprint. Alright, the ham's located behind the quads. Like I said earlier, they pull the leg back so that the sprinter has enough force to push off the ground quickly from the calves, which we're going to explain in a second. So when both the quads and the hands are working at the same time on alternating the legs, the sprinting is the quickest when both of those muscle groups are at their most toned and elastic. The glutes are the biggest muscle group in the body and sprinters use them as propulsion and to support the work of the quads and the hams. They are very, very important in this whole equation. You'll probably realize that the glutes work less than the leg, but it might be because the glutes are too weak, and it's important to invest in strengthening up the glute with some lunges and squats, which we hit in this program. Last but not least, we have the calves, which are way more vital to sprinting than regular running because the muscles of the calves control foot flexion. So the sprinters should be prepared to launch off the next foot during each stride before impact to minimize time spent on the ground. Strong explosive calves support additional speed. What happens when we have all of these working as a cohesive unit? It's lights out. Add that onto an already pre-made sprint program and it's over. Alright, so we're breaking this down into 4 days a week. Why not 7? We can do isometrics every day and we found that it doesn't really take too much away. But the reason why we settled for 4, okay, is because 1, we know the benefits of Isochain training, but 2, we want to make sure that the other exercises the athlete in question is doing, this includes practice itself, the cardio, and also the weightlift, the dynamic training that they're doing, that we're factoring in all of that activity, okay? So we don't want to make the cup overflow by throwing in pretty strenuous Isochain training 7 days a week. So that's why we're going with 4. So it's a nice Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday off on the weekends, or however you want to split it. The exercises are Bulgarian split squat, 3x6s for those. The Austin squat, a 6x6, unless you have a custom belt squat for the Isochain, in which case I'd highly recommend doing the belt squat, but the Austin squat is for those that don't have the belt accessory. The seated calf raise 3x6 and the standing calf raise 3x6. Now let's break down why. Let's go in reverse, starting with the calves. Now the standing calf raise is notorious for really singling out the gastrocnemius part of the calf muscle. There's 3 different muscle groups in the calf. You got the gastrocnemius, you got the tibialis anterior that like pretty much nobody ever works on, and then you have the soleus, alright? We don't really get too much tibialis anterior, if any, going on because we're not doing reverse calf raises. So standing calf raise, when we do that 3x6 on the Isochain, we're blasting the gastrocnemius. The sitting calf raise is going to be working the soleus, just like with dynamic lifting. That's why it's important to do both, to really get a full, well-rounded calf muscle. Now, this is not just bodybuilding. We're talking about strength production here, explosiveness. So it's important to make sure that your entire lower leg calf is explosive, and you want every single muscle fiber to be in that category. So 3x6. Now again, why not 6x6 for the calf raises? The reason why is because we're factoring in all the other. 6x6 is very demanding. For those that have not done a 6x6, following the proper rest protocols between reps, that sucker's hard. It's not because the difficulty, it's because we want to make sure the workload is nice and balanced, factoring in all the other work. Now this next one is going to seem like I'm contradicting myself, and that is the Austin squat, because that is a 6x6. Now why 6x6 for Austin squat? Be kind of the centerpiece of the entire program for the sprinters. Reason being, the quadriceps are producing a ton of propelling power. Now the calves are also in there as well, but that all or nothing, remember the muscles are binary, that all or nothing fast twitch activity in one of the largest muscle groups in the body, we need that. And what better way than to get the best bang for our buck with the Austin squat and do 6 of them each time. So that's 24 total Austin squat sessions that we're getting a week. What do you think is going to happen to that athlete's body when they start doing their dynamic squats? Right? It's going to go up. It's just a nice compound effect. It's going to be nothing but positive net gains for that athlete, and it's going to be incredibly noticeable on the field or on the track. However, there is one more. Remember I said it's the Bulgarian split squat, left and right leg. I would like for you, if you've been on the channel for a while, to go ahead and comment down below. What did your legs feel like after you did a 1x6, 3x6, or 6x6 with the Bulgarian split squat? Now this is a split squat, one leg on the Isochain and one leg is back elevated onto a platform like a bench, a couch, or a chair, whatever. I can tell you that every single time I did the Bulgarian split squat on the Isochain, my legs were smoked. Yes, even more so than the belt squat, even more so. It is so direct, and I really believe that training unilaterally on the Isochain for sprinters is very important. There's still a little bit of balance going on, that's a factor, but it's important to really strengthen up the legs unilaterally. Yes, compound movements are fantastic for overall strength, but you want to get that unilateral movement. Lunges are no joke. Dynamic, static, whatever, they are no joke. So I felt the need to throw 3x6s on here so that we're getting both on the left and right leg power generation off of one leg, so that athlete knows what that feels like. If you ever have sprinted before and you're coming off the block, right? What is that? That is unilateral. You're essentially almost doing a lunge because you're starting bent over in that position, and as soon as that gun goes off, what's firing? Quad and calf. It's launching you and you're off of one leg. So what better exercise to really train that explosive jet off the block power than the Bulgarian split squat? The Austin squat is very important. It's like the centerpiece, but this is the linchpin of the entire sprinter program on the Isochain. And it's only a 3x6. At first I was thinking we should do 6x6, but I was like, no. Let's keep it that way, 3x6 only, so you're only getting 12 Bulgarian split squat sessions that week. But remember, again, you have to factor in all the other training. I can guarantee adding the Bulgarian split squat into your Isochain training, if you are a sprinter watching this and you do it for a month, you will have people looking at you differently. Again, provide this, you're not just doing the Isochain by itself, you're doing this in conjunction with all your other training to be a successful sprinter. This is just the icing on the cake. This program will probably take you about 10 minutes to do, at most. And that's if we're screwing around with the rest time. It's 4 3x6 exercises and 1 6x6 exercise. Short, sweet, to the point, single progression for this. We're only doing single progression. We're not doing double progression for this type of workout program. Here's what it looks like. Okay, so setting up the split squat. It's just like with the lunge. Alright, so you want the foot right by the spring, just like I do in the demo video, the how to split squat. I'm gonna push up. Alright, Not bad. We do that 2 more times on that leg. So it's a 20-second break, 6 seconds, 20-second break. Switch. Now do the right leg. Alright, switch. Do 2 more on that leg. Alright, and then we're done. We're done with the split squat. Alright, then you go into the Austin squat. Okay, once you're in position, just like the Austin squat video, you're trying to get up off the bench. Whew. Man, even doing a demo is still tough. But great, I love the feeling, especially right above the knee. Alright, so we do 5 more of those, and then we go into the seated calf raise. Go right into it. Make sure everything's loaded up right. Push. Alright, do that 2 more times. That's done. Adjust the chain link. We're going into standing calf raise. Go. Ah! Okay. That's it. On paper, that takes about 8 minutes, 4 times a week of maximal tension. What is that going to do for the body? I cannot wait to see someone that actually incorporates this into their sprint training, especially those Bulgarian split squats. Those are a monster. Their launch potential off the block is going to be absolutely insane when combined with both of these calves, both seated and standing calf raises. That is going to be one hell of a powerful app. Talk about sprinting, it's all about acceleration, right? Acceleration, how fast can we go from 0 to 100 real quick? And what we've learned with the force velocity curve on the channel is that we are working at the top end of the force velocity curve when we're working with the Isochain. Our power production is at its highest. It's the highest amount of force that we could ever produce. It's the highest amount throughout any type of training. There is no training that can produce more force than isometric training. In specific, overcoming isometric training. So now we have all the benefits of elite sprinting training that we know from the last couple decades, and we add this. That truly is an unfair advantage. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to drop a like and comment, and if you're not yet part of the squad, hit that subscribe button, come join the squad with us. See you next video, peace.